So welcome everyone. My name is Steve. Today we're just going to introduce you to the team, introduce you to what we do, to the company. And then at the end, we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. So, but let me start with a little bit about myself. I started my career at Goldman Sachs. I was there from 1991 to 2000. Before you get too impressed, it's in trading terms and in financial terms, that's like saying that I was there when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Everything has changed since then. But I left there, had a wonderful time, learned a lot. I had a long career in nonprofit management and fundraising, so I've always had my hand in finances. And then about 5 years ago, I retired. It took about 6 months to drive my wife absolutely crazy. And she said, you better find something better to do. And so I had been talking to people here and also to a friend of mine from Goldman who I stayed in touch with. And people began to talk about Bitcoin. And my friend from Goldman said, have you heard about Bitcoin? Have you heard about cryptocurrency? And I said, you know, I think I've heard of it. I mean, I know it's on the news. I hear that it's a scam. I hear that it's a Ponzi scheme. And he said, well, Goldman doesn't think so. And you should really look into it. So I did a lot of research. I read a lot of books. I talked to people who I trusted. And sure enough, I did discover that there were a lot of things in it that were Ponzi schemes, that were scams. Cryptocurrency is fascinating because it is founded by people and was founded who have pretty high ideals, but not everybody in the space is idealistic. But then I learned enough about the underlying technology, something called blockchain, to make a decision that I thought that it could be really revolutionary. So back then, I invested some money in the two cryptocurrencies that I was most familiar with at that time. And it was Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that was in 2018. Over the next 3 years, I roughly made 10 times my money. But I didn't make 10 times my money because I was a good trader or a good investor. I did it because everything was going up. Crypto was going up. The markets were going up. We were at the end, we were, in a bull run. So you could throw a dart and you could make money. But near the end of 2021, I gathered some of my friends together because I began to have some suspicions that this bull run might be coming to an end. Now, I would like to say that I was clairvoyant and I anticipated a 70% drop in Bitcoin and a 25% drop in the markets, and that Russia was going to invade Ukraine and that interest rates were going to get out of control, but I didn't anticipate any of that. I just thought, a lot of money has gone into this space, and I think we're going to trade sideways for a while, or maybe a little bit down. So how can you make money in that kind of a market? Is it possible to do it in crypto? And I decided that in order to do it, I needed to have a team around me. So I gathered 4 of my friends, people who I thought were very smart, people who didn't come from financial backgrounds. In fact, none of us are financial planners. None of us are certified to say, hey, we're going to take your portfolio and do this to it. We don't manage your money. So, but they were also people who were not only smart, but a few of them were very skeptical about the crypto space. And I like that. And because I had been very skeptical at one point in my life too, and I'm still skeptical about different parts of it. So, and then I said, I'm spending an awful lot of time, even though I'm retired, I was spending hours and hours and hours a day researching new projects. And unclear about whether I was reading through my news feeds, whether it was real or not real, whether I was getting kind of somebody else's paid content that was coming to me. And so it began to be just very difficult to find objective information about any of these things. So I decided that we needed a full-time researcher. And so my friends and I got together. We brought on Jennifer Yassin, the person who's been emailing you and texting you and doing and onboarding you. And she does all our research, and she does all our logistical stuff. And we began trading in January of 2022, earlier this year. And lo and behold, the markets just plummeted. And there were times when there was no end in sight. And we've been in these markets for 9 months, every day. We've been swimming in very rough seas, sometimes very dangerous seas. And what I realized is that you had to trade very differently. You had to be very cautious. You had to be very defensive, because the bull run was over. But there was still ways that you could make money. But more than that you needed something. You needed education. And so part of the company, and a very strong part of the company, is our educational component. And I'm going to go into that in a few minutes. But we have now learned a lot. We want to share it with all of you. So right now we have about 80 of you that are joining us, that are our beta program, that are people that are going to sign up for the 6-month program. A lot of people are not only in different parts of the country, but they're in different parts of the world. So they'll be viewing, some of them are viewing this right now when parts of the world are asleep. So wherever you are or whenever you are, welcome. And I'll get to more specifics later, but now I want to introduce the team and turn it over to Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Yassin. I think most of you have probably gotten some emails and text messages from me in the last few weeks. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, my background is actually in medicine. So I went to medical school. I was really interested in global health, and actually ended up going overseas for about 5 years on a project where I got really involved in technology. So I was building a mobile app to help people in places where there was no 911. I ended up starting a nonprofit and kind of veering off of my traditional medical career into spaces that I hadn't been in before. And this was actually the first time that I was exposed to cryptocurrency. I look back now because I think it was 2015 or 2016, the first time I bought Bitcoin, and it was way less than $1,000. And I was using it to work with app developers who were in other countries. And this was the easiest way for me to engage with different developers all over the world and pay them in Bitcoin. I wish I had bought some for myself and held on to it then, but I wasn't looking at it as an investment at that time. I was using it as a currency to cross borders in places where it wasn't really easy for me to send money. I came back to the US and, I really missed working in the tech space. I met Steve in 2020. We realized we both had an interest in cryptocurrency, but for very different reasons. For me, I was really interested in cryptocurrency as a way to cross borders, to as a tool of social impact and financial empowerment. And, I saw all the very idealistic uses of cryptocurrency. And the more I dove into it, the more I saw that this was what I believe a technology that will build the future. Steve had this amazing background in finance and investment, and we started talking about it, and he told me he was starting this company and asked me if I wanted to come on and be a researcher and help education in this space. And this was something that I had done a lot in medicine. And I was really, really excited about empowering people with knowledge and giving them a tool that, not only as an investment, but looking into all the ways that this technology could do really neat things. So I came on in January, and I've been investing my own money since 2021. And, we've had some ups and some downs, and we've learned a lot, but I'm super excited to be part of New Compass Crypto, and I look forward to communicating with all of you as we move forward. So Thanks.
And Lila, are you able to join us? Great. This is Lila.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lila Cruikshank. My background is, well, not in the medicine side, but is also in global health. I work in global health as a consultant, and I was maybe even more than Jen. I was really a novice and, very much naive really to crypto before I joined this group. I think for a while had felt that I should know more about it, but felt a little bit overwhelmed about where to start, because the information is just sort of everywhere, but not coming from some of my most relied upon sources of information. So I have had, I think, through Steve and this group, have had a real crash course in crypto and have really come, built my confidence in the technology, but also in more in macroeconomics. I mean, I sort of thought I knew it, but I've learned a lot about trading much beyond crypto specifically, I think, through this process. So I sort of came in wanting to learn about crypto, believing in it really as a long-term, game changer for the field that I work in and in many others. And have, in the process, begun to trade it, just more as a currency now. But I think my interest is, on a couple of different levels in terms of crypto and, applications beyond just, the way we might trade it in the short term. And again, sort of hope that I am one of those that brings sort of a different perspective. I think we all in this group really bring something different to the table, and that's been part of what I have benefited from learning about crypto as part of the crypto collective. So, well, the crypto collective that has become New Compass Crypto. So,
right, exactly.
Thanks. Nice to meet you all.
Kate.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Stratton. I'm a partner in New Compass Crypto, and I became interested in this technology through Steve. Steve is my neighbor, and I've known him for over 10 years. And in 2018, he started telling me about blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I mean, just from that very brief conversation we once had, I started thinking, in terms of the future and where the world's going, this is truly revolutionary, and it's something I want to be a part of. So I learned a lot through Steve then, and then even more so as a partner in this company that we've developed. But I also gave him some money that I had to invest for me, and he did that over the years. And then when we started this company, he was like, you need to learn how to do this yourself. And it made me really nervous. I've never tried to trade anything on my own. I didn't understand the tools. I didn't understand the processes. But I said, okay, it's time for me to learn. I'd rather have more control over my money and know what's going on. So helped me set up a CoinPro-based account and how to work CoinGecko. And these are some of the platforms that Steve and our company will educate everyone on and show you how to use. But for me, it's been a really empowering experience. It's a fascinating space. I think in terms of the potential this has for so much of our future lives, not just finance, but the internet as well. So I hope you all learn as much as I have. We're very keen to share what we've learned, but we're also very eager to learn from you about, what we've put together and how we can improve it and how we can all move forward in a way that we are educated, but also can earn some money through trading. So I'm really looking forward to this and welcome everyone. It's nice to meet you all.
What Kate didn't share. So Kate's job has her fly to Africa, and she's had a long experience in Africa. And one of the things that people don't realize is that as Americans, we see things through an American lens. In Africa, there's a lot less trust of the governmental banks, and cryptocurrency is much more active on a user basis in Africa and in the East than it is in the West. In the West, we have a very stable banking system. There's many of us that don't really, need crypto in that way. In other parts of the world where the economies are not solid, where the currencies are not solid, crypto is very, very much a haven. And so I was always, when Kate goes to Ethiopia, when she goes to different parts of Africa, also she's from South Africa, has family in South Africa. It's always interesting to get a different kind of perspective about what is happening in different parts of the world. And then the next person that comes from a different part of the world is one of my other partners, and this is Jamie Duty. Jamie?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Jamie.
So apologies for my late arrival. I've been in my house. The 60-foot tree fell down outside my house. I've been without power for about 26 hours now. So my neighbor's Mini Cooper is no more, but everyone is safe. So my name is Jamie. I am Irish. I am a pediatric ear, nose, and throat surgeon here in North Carolina. I work for UNC. I arrived from Ireland to the United States a few years ago to do some training in Boston, and then I wound up in North Carolina. I met Steve through yoga, and I just hit it off from a personality to personality perspective. And I knew Steve, I knew he had a history in finance, but that wasn't really my bag, and I didn't really ask much about it. We just kind of hung out as friends. And then over time, this word crypto was kind of creeping into the conversation. Just other people asking Steve when we're together, not me actually asking him. But then I was very afraid of crypto. It was something that I always associated with money laundering and this kind of a thing. And then really, I just asked Steve about it, and he just started talking about it, and he had a passion about it, and he seemed to be very, I would say, very versed in it. And I became interested in it, and then he just kind of gave me some very non-pushy just advice, and kind of steered me in the direction of a couple of investments in cryptocurrency that worked out very well for me. And then that was it really. I started investing more, and it's done well for me. Obviously there's been a dip, but overall I'm very happy with how it's worked out. Steve again was not pushy, just brought me into it, and I'm very interested by it now. He was just showing me what the potential of this currency is on a global scale, and how it can basically change how finance is conducted internationally, and that interested me. But also the fact that it was a very burgeoning area with room for expansion and growth. And of course, if you're an investor, that's also very interesting as well. Plus, Steve was talking to people for years about this stuff, and then we figured, why keep doing it on such a small scale and try and scale up? And then if you're good at something, don't do it for free. And that was kind of where we are now. A small group of us, led by Steve, with an interest in this thing, who pass ideas around and shape ideas, and now it's led to this little collective and this idea to create an educational platform to help guide people on how to invest in this slightly fraught, because it's a new market, so new markets are always going to be a bit dicey and have bad actors and good actors and whatnot, but how to kind of navigate it together safely and hopefully make a profit. So that's kind of my story. That's how I met Steve, and that's kind of our mission statement moving forward to a degree.
Thank you. And then the last member of our team is Katie McCune. Katie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie. I work as a manager for a software company. We develop software for data management. I've been invested in crypto for about 2 years. The reason that I'm passionate about this team and what we're doing is because in the US today, still only roughly 25% of crypto investors are women. Despite the efforts that have been made, women are still highly underrepresented in entrepreneurship, technology, and finance. I'm passionate about building a community to help other women gain greater confidence in investing and to overcome their apprehension of cryptocurrency, which I was very apprehensive when I started. As one of the original ethos of cryptocurrency is to create an inclusive and equal system that's accessible to different groups of people. Simply noticing this is not enough. It takes long-term efforts by industry players to tackle the problems. That said, I'm excited to be part of a company that is majority women-led. Oh, sorry. That's majority women-led. And to be a female entrepreneur and player in the crypto space. and to equip all of you, but especially the women, with cryptocurrency knowledge and to help everyone leverage the new technology and to benefit from it. Thank you all for being here and welcome.
Thank you, Katie. Yeah, it's not an accident, actually. We very intentionally set out to create a company that was a majority women, and we have that's very important to us in kind of creating a space. The crypto space has been very. I don't know if a lot of people in the international community are going to understand this word, but it's a very bro-centered community, and we want to kind of fight back against that. Let me tell you a little bit about now what our company does, what the logistics are, and what it would look like. So there's two parts to our company, education and trading. And the education part has two parts, educating in the traditional markets, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, and educating in cryptocurrency. So, because you cannot understand cryptocurrency unless you understand the traditional markets, because crypto was born as a reaction against the traditional markets. You also can't understand how crypto moves up and down without understanding what it's reacting with and what's sometimes reacting against in the traditional markets. They very much do this. So a lot of the things that I will be talking about and teaching all of you, you will be amazed that it has to do with macroeconomics. It has to do with subjects that, you know, are very basic questions. What is the stock market? What is NASDAQ? What is the NASDAQ? What like, why is it moving up today? Why is it moving down today? What is inflation? Why is there a strong dollar right now? Is there a weak pound? And how are those two forces impacting the stock market and impacting your investments? So really a lot of what I talk about is macroeconomics that we apply in principles to our crypto investments. So the education component itself, because we are going to be talking about traditional investments, but there are a lot of you that I heard from as we were onboarding you who don't have a lot of experience in investing your own money and knowing what the stock markets are. So we're going to have what I'm going to call a beginning track. Those are people who just don't know a lot about this space, don't even know a lot about finances in general. Then there's going to be a more advanced track. Those are people who know a lot about the stock market, feel comfortable talking about advanced concepts like what the CPI is doing, what a company's giving earnings on any given day are going to affect a certain sector. Both of those are going to be done. The beginning tracks, I'm going to be doing webinars on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And on Thursdays at 1 p.m., I'm going to be doing webinars for the advanced track. So that's part A of education. And for example, the first seminar that we're going to be doing on this coming Tuesday for the beginners is like what existed before the stock market, and how did the stock markets even come to be? How did capitalism even come to be? Those kinds of questions are the ones we're going to be asking in those seminars. Then we are going to have a separate section, and that is going to be what is cryptocurrency? So we're going to have seminars that are going to say, what is blockchain? What is Bitcoin? What is Ethereum? Because I don't want anybody to invest in anything without having a deep knowledge of what it is. You don't have to know all the technical aspects. Even me to this day, and I've read books that the topic of the entire book is nothing but Bitcoin. And even I don't understand all the mathematical processes that take place within Bitcoin. But I understand enough to know what it is, what it isn't, and more importantly, how it moves in any given market. So that's the education part. That's going to be done through webinars. The webinars are going to get posted on our page. Everything's going to be available through YouTube, and the link is going to be available on our homepage. Then the second part of our company is the trading part. The trading part is what are we buying and what are we selling, and at what rates. So what is the first rule in making money? The first rule in making money is you don't lose all your money right away, which can happen in this space. So we are going to teach you how to do it safely. The safest way to do it is to trade without using real money. It is called paper trading. Jen, could you explain paper trading and what we're going to use?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think anybody who's invested learns a lot.
Hold on, Jen, your volume. I think there's something with your microphone.
Okay.
Try it now.
Can you hear me or you can't hear me?
Now you're better.
So we're going
Oh, now you're not better. Now you're worse.
to let me take it off my
Okay.
headphones. Let's try it.
Turn it up. I think I can hear you very faintly.
All right.
Okay, perfect. Now you're great.
Okay. So sorry about that. So yeah, I think anybody who's ever invested realizes that you learn things when you're invested in the market. You learn when you make a really bad trade. In fact, oftentimes those are the things that stick with you. And so we're encouraging you to take the pain out of this process by learning without using your own money. And this is called paper trading. We're going to introduce you, and I'm going to post a short video on Monday about some of the different apps we use. The one that I recommend to everyone, especially if you're a beginner, is called CoinGecko. They have a web version and a mobile app. And you can set up a portfolio and basically decide how much you want to trade. So $1,000, $10,000, $40,000, whatever you think your portfolio will be. And you will make buys and sells and trades without having real money. So these are hypothetical portfolios. And this is really helpful because actually what I like about this app is that you can set up multiple portfolios. And this allows you to pay attention to the market, to watch how they move, and to get practice at paying attention to that every day, to follow along with our trades, because we're going to be posting those in our trading channel, and get practice of going onto your app, buying and selling at the prices that we're suggesting. But as Steve said, we are not controlling your money. We are giving you our strategies and our analysis and telling you what we're doing. But at the end of the day, you're going to be trading, your own money and making your own decisions. This is a really safe space to learn about building a portfolio. You can set up multiple portfolios if you like, and just compare. If we're going to be mostly invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have a few other coins that we like, that we're going to put small percentages of, or encourage you to put small percentages of your money into. But there might be a project that you really like that we aren't necessarily actively trading. You can put that in your portfolio and see how it does. Maybe you want to have a comparison portfolio of what happens if you, buy and sell in different percentages, or you put money in on a weekly basis and buy in, something called DCA. So we're going to allow you to set this up and play around with it. It allows you to test drive, essentially, different strategies, and to also, the most important thing, I think, and this is something Steve will do a talk on probably in the next few weeks. It's really important in helping you kind of regulate your emotions in the market. When you put your real money in, it can feel really scary to watch something that you're invested in go down sharply. At the same time, when things go up, you're going to feel an inclination to want to buy. It's the FOMO that we talk about in crypto. And so a really important skill in being a really good investor, and this is something that Steve has taught me, and I think some of the other people that we work with, is that you've got to take your emotions out of the market. And paper trading is a really good way of doing that because it's not your real money. So when you are paper trading and you're buying and selling in this, hypothetical portfolio, it allows you to really look at things without your emotions attached. And the more you can hone that skill, the better of an investor you'll be. So this is a really great place to start. And then when you're ready and you feel like you understand the markets and you understand the strategies and what works for you, you'll be able to put your own money in a lot safer. So I look forward to sharing with you a little video on CoinGecko. If you're a more advanced trader, and I know that there's some people that are joining our program who have been investing in markets, traditional markets for years, they might want the ability to do a little bit more analysis. There are other apps out there, such as TradingView, that allows you to do really advanced, quantitative analysis. I would not recommend that for beginners, but it's out there. So I encourage you to find an app that you like to start paper trading, and I will be here to walk you through it on Monday, how to do that with CoinGecko. Thanks, Steve.
Then the last thing that I'll say is that when you do make your portfolio, don't make your portfolio $1 million. Because then it goes down and it goes down to, $500,000 and you're like, I still have $500,000. Make it a number that is somewhat reasonable to what you might one day put in, even if it's $1,000. Believe me, if you have $1,000, you are going to watch that money so closely because that's very meaningful to you. So just kind of keep it realistic. All those things will get posted on our website under a section that we're calling content. That's where we're going to put all the links to all our videos, our education videos, and that's what Jen's going to post coming up. Okay, so now we have those two sides, the trading and we have the education. Trading is also, you're going to get something called our daily coordinates. And our daily coordinates are my view, or Jen and I's view, of what the market is doing on any given day and what our strategy is. So every day, so the traditional markets close at Eastern time, 4 o'clock. So between 4 and 5, I'll usually post what I call the daily coordinates. That'll say, this is what the markets did today. So for example, yesterday was a bad day. Not only was yesterday a bad day, but the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P all closed at 52-week lows, calendar year lows, going back for the 1 year this week to 1 year last year. You can't find lower numbers than what was posted. So the S&P this year is down 25%. The NASDAQ is down 33% year to date. And the Dow is down 21% year to date. So
I thought that was an energy stuff.
I'm sorry? Oh, so we'll post that every day and we'll say, this is what happened in the markets. It went down today, up today. Then we will say, this is where Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche, those are the ones we're currently investing in. And then we say, this is what our strategy is going to be. Our strategy is going to be, right now, all of us, I'm holding 80% cash and I'm holding 20% Bitcoin and Ethereum. And and of that 20%, 60% is Bitcoin and 20% is Ethereum. So we'll say what we're doing right now is holding. And when I say holding, I mean holding our percentages, because we're waiting for it to go lower so that we can come in with our cash and buy more. That'll get posted. That'll say, this is what our positions are. Then it'll say, these are the events to come up in the coming week. So the events in the coming week could be an inflation report, an unemployment report, housing prices. So these are the things to watch out for that are going to affect the markets. And then we're going to finish up with two things that we call it, and we say on course and off course. On course are the things that we got right. Off course is, wow, we really missed that. We thought that inflation was going to be really low and it turned out to be really high. So we put that down. We really missed the number on inflation. And then we say, the final thing we say is course correction. What are we going to do in the future so that we don't make the same mistake again? You're going to get that every single day. Oh, I'm sorry, not every day. You're going to get it Monday through Friday. I sometimes will post on the weekends if the markets are volatile, but every Monday through Friday. But those are on our Telegram channels. So Telegram is what we are using to communicate with all of you. I know a lot of you have already joined. For those of you who haven't, Telegram is something like, I It's a chat app, something like that WhatsApp or Signal. It's very similar to all of those things. It works well for what we want to do because you can have different channels. And we're going to have 4 different channels right now. We have a main channel, which is where our daily coordinates are going to be posted. We also have a trading channel, and that's where we're going to put all our trades. We put them on there right live when I'm doing the trade. I post it on there and I say, you guys buy this too. Then we have a news channel. Those are things that, like, articles I subscribe to 5 different news feeds that are just to do with crypto, plus the New York Times, plus the Washington Post, plus the Wall Street Journal. So because I'm crazy, I wake up in the morning and I read everything. If I come across something really interesting that I think you guys should know, I'll post a link to that article in the news feed. You don't have to read it, but you can. And then the last thing is our education channel. And the education channel will be, this is where we're going to post the links to all our webinars. We're going to post the links to, this is what's coming up and how we're doing. You can also access those through the platform on our website, through the content on our website. So trading, you're going to get, trading you're going to get every day, and education you're going to get several times a week. Now, we're new to this, to the technology and to reaching this many of you. We have been working together, the 6 of us, for 9 months. So we know what works about how we all communicate. What I'm interested in finding out from each of you is, as you do the seminars, as you're getting your news feeds, to be able to say, hey, Steve, like, this isn't making sense to me. I'm not getting the right education. I still don't understand this. Or I'm getting too much of this and not enough of this. And you all will be able to ask us questions. So feel free that you can ask questions. You'll email us questions through our website. And within 24 hours, we'll post the questions on our question channel, which is the final channel that we're going to have on the Slack, on the Telegram feed. And sometimes I will be answering those questions in the webinars that we do together. So you'll have opportunities to ask questions. You'll have opportunities to ask to clarify concepts. These are very strange and difficult concepts. The way that I like to explain it is this. It's hard to imagine now, but there was a time when the United States was founded and there were the 13 original colonies. Each one of them had a different currency. There was a currency in Massachusetts that was very different than the currency in Virginia. Not only that, but none of those currencies were paper. They were all coin-based. They were coins, gold, silver, copper, all of those. And they all had different values in different places. So trading between the states was really, really hard. Alexander Hamilton came along and said, hey, guys, guess what? We're going to do this thing, and we're going to have a bank, this building. And that's where all the money's going to be for all 13 of you. And we're going to give you this paper. And it represents the amount of money that you have in that bank. People originally went crazy. They did not want to, they didn't know what to do with these papers. They didn't know that you could go somewhere and buy, beer and flour with it. There was a lot of mistrust over the government about all of these things. So as hard as it was for people to understand the original paper concept of what a centralized currency is, believe me, it is going to be very hard for you to understand what a decentralized cryptocurrency is, which is even more complicated than those concepts. We're going to do our very best to explain all those things to you. Be patient with us. We want to learn as much as you do. This is a two-way street. And really, that's all that I have to say for today. I want to give anybody an opportunity to ask any questions that they want, either logistical or about kind of how our trading strategies work. You don't have to ask questions, but if you do, please feel free to ask. I had a very obedient crowd. I like this. thank you all. So we have right now, we have about 80 of you that are with us, 80 people that are doing this journey with us for the next 6 months. We have room for more. I would love to get it till, so the way that I'm going to do it is this. We're going to extend this window that people can come on and join through as late as December 31st. I would like to have 100, 200 people be joining us by then. So what I'd like everyone to do is, especially if you have a good experience and you begin learning things, share this with your friends, post this on your social. I was told to say that. I was told that those are words that have meaning to young people. Post this on your social. And just, let anybody know that you want that I might have an interest in either just, finances in general or cryptocurrencies. So thank you all so much. And we will be posting this in about an hour to our website. Thank you all. Stay safe out there. And thank you for joining us. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.